Attaquons.
All right. All right, brother. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, my name is Jake Babich. I am 21 years old. I am originally from the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, and I'm currently an accelerated master's student at the University of Alabama studying mathematics education.
Whoa, wait. Let me stop you right there. You're at the University of Alabama right now.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide.
For real?
Yep.
Bro, I actually live in Alabama.
Oh, really?
Mm,
Good
Not
stuff.
joking. Yes, man. I'm right by I'm close to I'm in Daphne side, but I know where USA is. Um
Yeah.
the school over there. Are you in Tuscaloosa or are you in like
Yes, sir.
okay.
Tuscaloosa.
Okay, you're over there. Okay. You're about like 2 hours from me.
Oh, sweet. Good stuff. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, man. So that's beautiful, man. That's so awesome. So what is inspiring you to achieve what you're going for right now? Because that's beautiful what you're trying to get into.
So I knew growing up I've always wanted to be some sort of mathematics educator or just an educator in general. Like my mom's a teacher, so I've been around education for a very long time, and I've always liked teach like helping out people and understanding stuff. So what I've understood based on what I've been doing is I really like teaching. And so I was never really a big math guy though. Growing up, I was always more of kind of like a history minded guy. And then kind of once I made my way up through high school and I kind of switched gears a little bit senior year, I took a few math classes just so I can get out of the way so I didn't have to take them in college. I took calculus and statistics in my senior year of high school. And I had a teacher that really changed my view and how I viewed mathematics. And I would say that was like the turning point where I'm like, okay, instead of going into history, I could kind of challenge myself and take a different path and go into some sort of mathematics education. And ultimately, that was kind of the spark plug that made me switch it up and kind of change things up a bit. And I've kind of been on that math educator track ever since then.
Ooh, so beautiful, man. So beautiful. So was it a challenge? Was it a super hard challenge, or do you say it was pretty easy for you?
Oh, it was a challenge. I wasn't always great at math. I liked it, but I wasn't that amazing at it. So it was a bit challenging for me just because it was a big of a jump. And especially now in college, I've been taking some pretty difficult math courses, and some of them have been extremely difficult. And I've had trouble with some of them, and I've put a ton of time into studying for them. But I think at the end, it'll all work out and be worth it.
Awesome, awesome. So what classes are you wanting to teach? Are you wanting to teach college kids, elementary kids, middle school, high schools?
I will probably end up teaching at the high school level. I think that's the level where I like the most. I'm currently placed for my like first semester of student teaching. I'm not really teaching, I'm just more so observing the class. And I'm currently in a high school classrooms like Algebra 2 right now. And I really enjoy that a lot. So if I could do something like that, teach anything from, I would like to teach some sort of calculus because that's my favorite thing to teach, but anything from Algebra 1 to calculus, some sort of high school level math, that would be the goal for me.
Awesome, awesome. So do you have a plan for your own room of how you're going to set it up? Because you know a lot of teachers like being very creative when they
Oh,
have their
yeah.
own spots.
Yeah, I definitely will try to incorporate some of those things. I definitely want to have group of desks instead of just rows, just because I want to facilitate more group discussion within my classroom, because that's just a more positive environment. And that studies show that when you're in groups, students will be able to understand stuff better because they'll be able to bounce ideas off of their peers. I also definitely want a few different types of tech. I want to incorporate as much technology into the classroom I can, because again, all the research shows that incorporating technology in the right way will lead to a more successful classroom. Like if you're just using calculators for computation, that's one thing. But when you're actually like exploring stuff with the calculators and with the software, then that's when it really becomes a great
Mhm.
tool. And students can really understand it when there's multiple representations of what they're doing.
Yes, that's very true. So what is some positive inspiration you would give your class or the people in general? Like,
Um, some of the things, so a lot of students that I've worked with are kind of get discouraged when they're doing math. So I tell them to view it as, instead of just viewing this as a math class, I want you guys to view this as a problem solving and a critical thinking class. Because most of the stuff you're doing, chances are you're not going to be doing some of the stuff in the real world. But the ideas behind it, where you're critically thinking and problem solving to get some of these solutions and understand these ideas, that's the main key to school. Ultimately, high school is to build better citizens. We don't, again, we want to push you into some sort of career path, whether it be college, whether it be going to the military, whether it be some sort of trade school. We want to push you into some sort of career path. And that's our main goal is we want to build citizens as high school teachers to get you ready for your next chapter of life. And whatever that may be, we want to make sure you are 100% prepared and ready to go for that.
Nice, nice, nice. That is so beautiful, man. I like that. I like that. That's cool. So what are some goals that you have currently right now?
There's a few different goals I have right now. Obviously, I want to try to get a solid GPA to get through my program. That's one of my main goals. And then from there, so I'm currently in an accelerated master's program track. So I'll be knock on wood, hopefully graduating in the spring with my undergraduate in mathematics with a concentration in math education and an additional minor in business. So I've got some more background in there just so I can teach other classes too at some point, especially if the high school needs some sort of business class to be taught, I can help out with that. And then hopefully next year, then I'll go on to get my master's in mathematics education, which would be huge for me because I'd be saving a lot of money as I'm on scholarship right now. So that's one of the main goals right now. And then from there, looking into the future, obviously I want to at some point look into starting a family, buying my own house, but that's a little
Mm,
bit more down the road just because it's still a few years out for that for me. So I'm just kind of viewing it in more of a short term and then kind of letting everything else figure it out as I go.
that's beautiful, man. That's like way point on like simple life right there. That's just moving on through achieving your goals and you're already in the right path. So that's beautiful, bro. Like it's incredible what you're trying to do. And also you're trying to like really make an impact, which leads me on to my next question is what is one thing that you would like to do to make a big impact on students or people in the world? What is something that you want people to kind of take from what you give to the world?
I just want to focus on building relationships with my students just because, I mean, it's one thing to be an effective teacher and teach the material, but on the other hand, as a teacher, you really want to build relationships with your students because if your students don't really trust you and they don't think that they like that as a teacher, you know them well enough, they're not going to vibe with you as much. So you really want to build a relationship between each of your students and make them understand that, okay, we're in this together. I'm going to make sure I'm doing everything I can to prepare you for whatever it may be. And in return, I'm going to give you as much effort as I can in the class just to show that we're working together in this process. Like this isn't just you working on it together. I am helping you out through the process as well. So that's kind of one of the main ideas and inspirations I have as I'm going through this.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. So what are some struggles that you faced getting to where you are now?
Some of the main, I haven't faced a ton of struggles really. I mean, there's been some things within classes. I've just had some challenging classes throughout my times here that I've been studying up all night for, not doing great on tests, having to make it up, all that stuff. So there's been a few different struggles from that aspect, but everything else has been pretty much smooth sailing. So I don't really have anything much to complain about at this point.
Mhm. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So you said that your mom is a teacher, correct?
Yes.
So how, what's one thing that she always taught you growing up, or what's one thing that she taught you is a challenge as being a teacher? What is something that she's taught you or told you?
One of the things that she always kind of gets me about is making sure I'm balancing all of my time. And especially as I'm kind of looking into these classes more and I'm having to write lesson plans, I'm having to create different lessons and implement them in my classroom. So that's definitely been a challenge. And that's the one thing she always harped on a little bit, just because there's so much to do with creating these lesson plans. And that's kind of like the main backbone to once you are able to complete all these lesson plans and you can kind of plan and schedule around that and kind of puzzle in everything together. And that's just kind of what she's told me has been the biggest challenge. And so far as I've been going through this, that's been one of the biggest pieces of advice I'm getting is plan your time accordingly because you only have so much time and there's going to be a ton of stuff to do, especially now in college where I'm figuring out what I'm doing and kind of building up to where I'm going to be as a teacher one day. So those are just kind of some of the thoughts and I've given considering what she said.
Nice, nice. I like that. I like that. Really like that. So my last question I want to ask is what other things would you like to tell people about you or things that kind of pursue you to keep going every day?
Some of the things that I always say that keep going every day is there's just so many things in life that there's so many people that like genuinely care about you. And when you have people in your life that are your go-to people that you always want to make them proud and you always want to always an opposite kind of chicken on those people that are really guiding you through stuff too. So you want to kind of keep it like a pretty good relationship and keeping those kind of relationships is going to lead to a better mindset for you to have. And that's just some of like one of the main ideas I kind of live by is like with your people that you've kind of stuck with your whole life, like if they've been there for you, you always have to be there for them as well. And it's kind of just like a mutualistic relationship at that point. And just knowing that I've got people going for me and I've got a good group of friends, I've got great family that have always supported me through everything I've done. It
Mhm.
just makes living through life so much better because you know that you're making them proud and in return, you're proud to see where they have been.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. That's beautiful. Man, Jake, this has actually been a very, very, very great interview. I
It's been
mean,
great. Mhm.
it's just all the things that you've been telling me and all the things that you're going for and like how you're going to impact students around, around the world, just wherever you might go to class and you might work for different schools and just impact those students in those schools. So just to know that you're achieving something great that's going to make an impact on people in general, like because then their kids are gonna go to school every day and be like, okay, I'm here in Mr. Babich class. He's so cool. He's so dope. And when I come home every day, I feel good. I feel blessed to be home. I feel blessed to like work on his stuff for class because he's such a good teacher, and that impact that you're going to give to those students whenever they come home at the end of the day to be like, man, my teacher has really taught me so much about life that I never thought that I would know, and it's just, that's beautiful, man. And I really applaud you for what you're doing. And
Thank you. I appreciate it.
you know what? It's gonna be amazing to see, in just like a year or two tops when you're actually like physically with like students, and then we get to have another interview in the future. You get to tell me some experiences you got to deal with some of the classes that you had, because you're gonna have those classes where there's those bad kids that come
Oh, absolutely.
in.
Oh yeah.
I definitely know because I was one of those kids in school. We had this class where we pretty much made the science teacher's life horrible. Like we ruined his life. A couple years later he became a janitor. Let's put it that way.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, like he had two classes back to back. They were both bad. The first class broke one of his science tables, and then and then our class they kept breaking his science stuff. So the little science glass things that you have, they kept knocking him
Mhm.
over and
Oh
breaking them in
yeah.
front of him. And they even broke his smart board, they stuck tacks in his chair. I mean, it was just horrible what they did to this man. But yeah, that's like one of those things that like is a challenge as well, that like dealing with one of those bad classrooms.
Yeah.
Which I know is going to be challenging, but sooner or later they get the act right.
Yeah.
But man, I thank you for joining me tonight. I really
Oh, no
appreciate it,
problem at all.
brother.
I'm happy for coming on.
Oh yes, brother. I can't wait to just for everybody to hear your story, man. It's so beautiful what you're doing, bro. And I really do thank you, man. And I salute to you. And I can't wait for you to keep changing students' lives every single day, man. It's going to be incredible.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jake. I hope you have a good one, man. We'll talk soon.
Yep. Sounds good. You too. Thank you, boss.
All right. Thank you, boss. Appreciate it. All right. Peace, brother.
Peace. Have a good one.
You too.